Listen carefully, because what I'm about to say could change the way you see your life. Or you can ignore it and keep believing that everything is as you were told. What you think is real is nothing more than an illusion, a narrative you've been subjected to since day one. You were taught to believe that the world is fixed and unchangeable, that luck decides your fate, and that your mind is merely a passive observer of everything that happens. But what if I told you that's a lie? That everything you've been told is only half the story, that there's a force at your disposal that you've had since the beginning, but were never taught how to use. There's something in your mind they never told you about, something hidden and powerful that defines your life more than you realize. Reality isn't what you see. Reality is what you create. Everything you have in your life today was once an idea, a thought. Nothing happens by chance. Every event, every opportunity, every failure is connected to a single source, your own mental energy. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you truly believe you deserve. Here's the catch. Most people never realize this. They think their desires are enough, but what really shapes reality are their deepest beliefs. If, at the core of your being, you believe you're not enough, that you can't, that you don't deserve it, then that will be the reality you experience. Not because the world is unfair, but because the world merely reflects what's inside you. Let me ask you, how many times have you felt like life is holding you back, that no matter what you do, you end up in the same place, as if an invisible force keeps you trapped in an endless cycle? What if I told you that invisible force is you, your own mind, your thoughts, your emotions? Every word you say, every image you hold in your head, every emotion you allow to grow inside you is building the reality you live in. This isn't magic. It's not about thinking of something and having it appear out of nowhere. It's about understanding how the universe's flow works and aligning yourself with it. When you do, everything changes. Doors open, opportunities arrive, and what once seemed impossible becomes part of your life. How? Through three fundamental keys: visualization, faith, and mental control. First, visualization. Most people want something, but never see it clearly in their minds. They have only a vague idea, a blurry desire. But the universe doesn't respond to vagueness. If you want to manifest something, you must first see it in your mind with absolute clarity. Feel it as if it's already real, not as a distant dream, but as something inevitable. Second, faith. And I don't mean religious faith. I mean an unshakable conviction that what you visualized is already on its way. You don't doubt, you don't question, you don't look for proof. You just know. Because when you doubt, you send a contradictory signal to the universe. And when you don't trust, you destroy your own creation before it has the chance to materialize. Third, mental control. This is where most people fail. You can't build an extraordinary life if your thoughts are polluted with fear, doubt, and negativity. Every thought is a seed, and you harvest whatever you plant. If you spend your day worrying, criticizing, getting angry, and feeding despair, what do you think you'll get? Exactly, more of the same. Your mind is the architect, but what are you building? A life of success and fulfillment, or an invisible prison of fears and limitations? The key is learning to control what you allow into your head. What you think, what you say, what you feel, all of it influences reality. And once you learn to direct your mind in the right direction, reality responds. But there's more, something very few understand. Manifestation isn't about forcing or pushing, trying to control every detail. It's about aligning with the universe's natural flow. You can't force a seed to grow faster, but you can create the ideal conditions for it to flourish. That's how reality works. You visualize, you believe, you align your energy, and then you allow things to happen in their perfect timing, without desperation, without anxiety. Because when you try to force something, you're actually sending the message that you don't trust it will happen. Think about this. How many times have you wanted something so desperately that it never came? And how many times has something incredible appeared in your life just when you least expected it? That's no coincidence. It's the universe showing you how it works. The more you let go of control and trust the process, the faster things manifest. And here's the key point. You have the power. You always have. You're not a victim of luck or circumstance. You're the creator, if you choose to take that power and use it consciously. Stop living on autopilot. Stop repeating the same patterns. Stop feeding thoughts that destroy you instead of building you. The universe is a mirror. If you want to change your life, first change your mind. Notice what you think, what you say, what you feel. Don't let fear, doubt, and negativity dictate your reality. Be aware of what you plant in your mind, because that will be what you harvest in your life. So here's the question. Are you ready to take control, or will you keep believing that reality is something that simply happens to you? The choice has always been yours. Just no one ever told you. Think about it. The life you have today is the result of what you've been thinking and feeling for years. Everything you have, everything you are, everything you live is no accident. It's the exact reflection of the energy you've projected. And if you don't like what you see around you, there's only one question you need to ask yourself. What am I feeding in my mind? Here's the brutal truth. You can't attract success if your internal dialogue is one of failure. You can't manifest love if deep down you feel unworthy of receiving it. You can't live in abundance if every day you tell yourself that money is hard to earn. The problem is that most people don't want to take responsibility for their own creation. It's easier to blame circumstances, fate, the government, or bad luck, but that mindset keeps you trapped. There's no power in victimhood, no creation in complaining. The universe doesn't respond to those who seek pity. It responds to those who decide to own their destiny. And here's the secret. Almost nobody tells you. Positive thinking alone isn't enough. It's not about closing your eyes and saying, everything will be fine, while fear and doubt gnaw at your mind. It's not about saying, I am successful, when every cell in your body screams, it isn't true. True manifestation happens when there's total coherence between what you think, what you feel, and what you do. Only then does reality have no choice but to shape itself in your favor. Now, let's talk about the power of emotion. If visualization is the seed and faith is the water, emotion is the sun that makes it grow. It's not enough to imagine what you want. You have to feel it. You have to vibrate it. Reality responds not to words, but to the energy behind them. Have you noticed how when someone truly believes in what they say, you can feel it? That's the difference between someone who merely says they'll succeed and someone who knows it without needing proof. One person desires it, the other already is it. Here's the next level. True transformation happens when your mind and your emotions work together. It's not enough to say, I will be successful. You have to train your body to feel success before it arrives, because the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. If you feel poor, you'll keep attracting lack. If you feel insecure, you'll keep drawing situations that reflect that insecurity. The key is learning to enter the right emotional state before reality confirms it. Let me tell you why great visionaries have achieved things that seemed impossible. Not because they had more luck, money, or contacts, but because they understood that the physical world is only a reflection of the mental world. Before anyone saw their success, they'd already seen it thousands of times in their mind. Now, there's something nobody's told you that could radically change your life. The universe doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to your state of being. No matter how much you long for something, if you remain the same person inside, you'll continue to receive the same old results. This is where most people fail. They think they can manifest a new reality without becoming the person who can actually sustain it. And that's impossible. You can't attract abundance if you're still operating from scarcity. You can't manifest love if you're still vibrating fear and insecurity. You can't create success if you continue identifying with failure. The big secret of manifestation is this: for your reality to change, you must change first, right now. Not when things improve, not when circumstances become favorable, not when everything's perfect, but now, because the universe responds to what you are at this moment, not to what you want in the future. Imagine this. If, right now, you had the life of your dreams, how would you be? How would you think, act, and feel? That version of you already has everything you want. What energy does it project? How does it move through life? Here's something that will challenge your logic. You have to start behaving like that person before reality confirms it. Yes, before. You must become what you want to be before the world recognizes it. Why? Because reality isn't the cause, it's the effect. The external is only a reflection of the internal. If you wait for reality to change first, it never will. The key is changing inside before the world has a chance to reflect it. And here's where a skill that almost nobody develops comes into play: detachment from the outcome. Why do some people seem to manifest what they want effortlessly, while others struggle their entire lives without seeing change? The answer lies in how attached they are to their desires. When you desire something desperately, you push it away. When you feel anxious about getting it, you delay it. Why? Because desperation, anxiety, and need are energies of lack. They signal that deep down you don't believe you already have what you want. And the universe, like a mirror, gives you more of the same. More lack, more waiting, more distance between you and your desire. So what happens when you detach, when you trust, when you let go, when you simply know that what you asked for is already on its way and you don't need to worry about how or when it will arrive? Then everything flows, because you've stopped blocking the process with your anxiety, because now you operate from certainty instead of doubt. Think about this. Have you ever wanted something so badly that the more you tried, the further away it seemed? And have you ever noticed that when you stopped obsessing over it, it just appeared? That's no coincidence. It's the universe showing you how energy works. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about what you want. It doesn't mean you give up on your dreams. It means you no longer depend on them to feel complete, that you no longer chase them from a place of lack, but from a place of trust. When you reach that state, manifestation becomes inevitable. There's one more point you must understand. The energy you invest in others also influences your own reality. What you wish for others, you're wishing for yourself. And what you criticize in others, you reinforce in yourself. That's why if you envy someone who has what you want, you push that away from your life. Envy is a message to the universe that you don't believe it's possible for you. If you speak ill of others' success, you program your mind to believe success is bad. If you genuinely rejoice in others' growth, you align with the energy of abundance. People who understand this know there's no competition in the universe. What's possible for one is possible for all. The difference lies in mindset. Now ask yourself, how do you react when you see someone achieving what you desire? Do you use it as proof it's possible or as an excuse to feel less? The answer to that reveals your greatest blockage. Here's the final key. Everything you need is already inside you. There's nothing to find outside. No secret hidden in a book, course, or miracle technique. The only difference between those who create their reality and those who don't is how much control they have over their mind and energy. And here's the most brutal truth. No one's going to do this work for you. You can keep waiting for life to give you what you want, or you can decide right now to become the person who already has it. Because when you change your internal state, reality has no choice but to follow suit. So what will you do now? Will you wait for a miracle, or will you start creating it? Listen, what I'm about to say could be the missing piece in your life. Everything you've heard so far makes no sense if you don't apply it. You may have felt inspired, you may have understood every word, but if tomorrow you keep thinking and acting the same way, nothing will change. Not because the universe is against you, but because you remain the same. Here's the brutal truth. If you keep being the same person, you'll keep living the same reality. The world is full of people who know a lot, but do little. People who get overwhelmed with information, but never put it into practice. And here's the difference between those who transform their lives and those who merely dream of doing so. Action. But not just any action, not moving for the sake of moving. Action with intention, with awareness, with the power of someone who knows their reality reflects their internal state. So tell me, are you going to let this knowledge stay in just another video you watched on the internet? Or are you going to do something with it? Because most people won't change. They'll close this video and return to the same routine, the same thoughts, the same excuses. But a few will take this information and start applying it today. Those are the ones who will see the difference. Those are the ones who, a year from now, will look back and realize it all started here. Now listen, this is important. Change doesn't happen overnight. There will be moments when you feel like nothing's happening. There will be days when you want to give up, when your mind tries to drag you back to the old you. But if in those moments you remember one thing, you'll push through. Reality takes time to catch up with your inner work. The universe needs time to reorganize according to your new vibration. So don't despair. Don't give up at the first obstacle. Most people quit right before things start to change. Don't be part of the majority. This video is a call, not to entertain you, not just to make you reflect, but to take action. If you've gotten this far, it wasn't by chance. Something inside you knows this is real. Something inside you has recognized you've always had this power. You were just never taught how to use it. So tell me in the comments, are you ready to take control of your life? If you've come this far, comment, I am the creator of my reality. I want to know who truly understood this message. I want to see who will stop being spectators and start being creators. And if this video made you think, if it awakened something in you, subscribe, because this is only the beginning. We're going to go even deeper to explore the secrets they never told you about the mind, energy, and reality. But for that, you need to be here. So tell me, will you keep watching your life happen, or will you start creating it? The decision is yours.